Doing a couple things to my Game Boy today. I already put a frecklesheck in it. If you hear that noise, it's my 3D printer, so don't mind it. One of the first things I'm going to do, I'm going to change the caps. So this Game Boy, if you see, it's got these two caps. I threw these in here originally because I thought the volume was jacked up, and I thought the caps might fix it. Caps didn't fix it, but I'd like to still put the correct caps on the Game Boy. So, here's my flex.
Good job, buddy.
So I'm going to add flux to remove it, and I'll explain that in a moment. So I added flux on both sides, and I'm going to heat one side and lift it. This is not the best way to do this, but with it's only 3 pads, it can't be that bad for it. See, as long as you don't rip up pads, so this is it coming off. Let me see if I could zoom in a little more. So, capacitor 35. Get some wick. Just cleaning the pad off, and I'm going to put some new solder on it. Well, sorry, I should put more flux on it first. Got this tiny little capacitor. So just if anyone's ever going to do a recap on these, man, I should have opened this before this video. Just follow the microfarad values, but for the most part, if you see where is it? Right here. Okay. Alright. Positive, negative. So for these surface mount caps, this black stripe is the negative, so it's going to go on like that. Like that. These other ones are the same way. They're highlighted. They're not highlighted. They're it's the same concept. 10 volts, 100 microfarads. 10 volts, 100 microfarads. So it's the same thing. So I'm going to do one in front of you, and then I'm just going to do the rest off camera, mostly because I think my SD card's getting full, and I don't need to insult you. I'm confident you can do this yourself and use this one. Oh yeah, another thing, I'm going to swap the speaker out, but I'm going to stop here and just do the caps. So that was easy. Capacitors are done. Next thing to do is I'm replacing my speaker. So my disadvantage, right, I'm saying off the get-go, there's a bracket right here versus my new speaker doesn't have that bracket with these 2 ears on them. If you see, there's one here. There's one on each side, if you see them. My new one doesn't have it, so I'm just gonna wing it. I'll see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't rattle and it's not like super annoying. But unironically, this Game Boy currently has no sound, and I'm like really hoping that this new speaker solves that problem. That was why I originally changed these capacitors, because I thought, oh, maybe New capacitors means I will get sound, but not always. Alright, that literally took like 30 seconds, so not that bad. The next thing is this. So this is the sound bass thing. Basically, you increase your sound volume with it. But so I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that I did in fact fix the sound, and that I had just a speaker that has a. If you see the soda residue, there's a ton of soda. So when I bought this originally, it had no sound. Actually, I got this Game Boy ironically for free down the street. Make friends with your neighbors. So I'll be real. This is I think most people mount it right here, which sounds like this is where I'm going to mount it. Is right. Well, then again, it might. Actually, you could do it this way. If I mount it this way, it's not going to. Well, it shouldn't conflict with anything. This frecklesheck PCB really makes it hurt. Peel this out. However, while I think about what to do, we'll actually do something else. So, I've already done the frecklesheck LCD mod on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the LCD where it is, because we are going to be doing something very special. This is the stock screen. Stock screen is evil. bluishsquirrel hooked it up and got me the Gameboy Color Light glass lens, which is awesome. And actually, if you notice, the frecklesheck's slightly smaller, and so is the screen. The screen actually matches the resolution of the frecklesheck, which is pretty cool. So, this is the one that came with the Game Boy when I bought it, or when I bought the shell. Did I smack the screen? No, not really. So this can be trashed. So here we go. Let's use the so the best way I've come up with new screens like this, start here, you should just drop in like that. Press on it just a bit. And now I did notice that now that I have this on, it's about like a 0.5 millimeter gap up here. Might be because this is an aftermarket shell and this isn't like maybe to original specifications or something. So I got that frecklesheck in. These are buttons to match my shell. Yeah, just that. Probably, yeah, I definitely threw that in the wrong spot. And I know I could have got like different colored membranes. I didn't see much of a point, honestly. What's this? Ew, this is a power on switch. So I got a clear power on switch. Alright. Oh, this is part of the screen that's kind of important. Alright. So the big one went on this side, and this. Oh. No. The big one went on that side, and the little one on this side. Alright, I'm going to pause it just so I can do this offline. It's using a lot of time. I've come up with a solution. I was thinking about where to orient this. So what I'm going to do is I've got what's called Kapton tape covering the bottom. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to route all the wiring all the way around here. These points right here, I'm going to trim them and cut them. Zoom in. So these points right here that are sticking up, I'm going to trim them and cut the shit out of them. Then I'm going to double side tape it. It'll be have a lower platform, and since this whole thing is covered in Kapton, it's not going to get covered in frickin' you know, short out or any of that crazy shit. So I'll let you know how it goes. As you see, everything, you know, all the sound is routing from, you know, this is the correct way to do this mod, man. So, you know, because it routes here, it goes through here, goes to the amplifier, then goes to the speaker. This is the rat's nest of wires I made. I watched Natalie's video, and it was really helpful, actually. I'm going to try to shove it here. If I cannot shut it properly, I will need to trim the inside of my shell. I'll do it if I really have to. I'd like to avoid it though. So I've done every single great modification you can to a Game Boy. The only other thing I could really do with this is a rechargeable battery mod. Kinda don't want to do that. So now I'm going to reassemble it. Oh, it's awesome. You could hear it. Speaker hopefully it won't rattle. It's the only other concern I have. Alright, and he is done. So just keep that in mind. This area kinda got space. Like I said, this frecklesheck PCB really, I was going to put it here, but there's no room now. Anyway, thank you for watching.